Uh, on paper where the story's told, facts and truth, the legend grows. Lion hearts here with fire to spit. It's on paper with Anthony Smith.
With Anthony Smith.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the On Paper Podcast presented by Black Buffalo. I am Anthony Smith, as always, and we have a special guest today. We have my best friend in the industry, Dean Thomas, and Kelly still works here, unfortunately. We can't find anybody that can do what she does, so she's still here. Dean was unhappy about it as well. So
I wasn't happy until I saw her microphone, and she looks like she's about to sing some Ella Fitzgerald. So
y'all don't want none of that. I promise. None of that.
Sometimes Kelly gives depends on how she does her hair. She gives like a Selena look where she looks super tan sometimes, and she looks like she's about to bust out singing, and then she opens her mouth and it's just this dirty Long Island accent.
Mind you, before we started recording, I was accused of having a weave in. So this is what
Dean
goes
did
on.
accuse you of having a weave. That is true.
Because it looked good. Because your hair looked good. It looks good. It looks full. It looks shiny. I was like, there's no way that's her real hair.
60 seconds in, and I've been insulted by you both. That's great.
In the white community, they call those extensions.
Yeah, extensions. Extensions. Because normally, because you look like you smoke cigarettes. So I would expect your hair to be like dried out and just like smelling like a train station.
No, it all just goes to my lungs. No. I take the hair, skin, and nails probiotic.
Yeah. Dean, what's going on, dude? First of all, where are you at? You're a bit of a transient these days, and I'm jealous.
Whoa, take it easy.
Well, what? That just means you travel a lot. I never know where you are.
Oh, transient. All right. No, I'm in Florida right now. I'm back in the hood, training my people. I got Jillian on the books, Amanda Nunes on the books. So I'm back at home training them, helping them get ready for their fights coming up. Jillian rumored to be fighting in December. Amanda hoping to fight in December. So we working.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up. What's it been like having Amanda back in the room on the pads? How does she look? Is she? Because a lot of times people retire, and then we never really train like we used to. So we're out of shape, and you got to kind of pull yourself back into shape. Is she already ready? Is she in decent shape, or how's she look?
No, she's great, man. She was already in shape actually because she never got out of shape. And people might not realize that, but she's been active this whole time during her retirement. She's been active. So she never got out of shape, and she's just a sponge. She's back, she's having fun, she's learning, and we having a good time, man. It's just all about keeping everything light right now and just having a good time and just learning and just really communicating and building chemistry with each other again, and she's a pleasure to work with. I'm enjoying it.
So when you're on the mats and you don't really have anything coming up, you don't have a fight booked, you don't have a date that you're chasing, you don't really have a name, and you're as active as Amanda has been, did she get better? Does it seem like maybe she's worked on some things that maybe she hadn't worked on previously? You can kind of just be free and flow and, all right, I'm not very good here, and I don't really have anything coming up, so I can just work that thing. Does it feel like she's gotten better, or is she just super sharp and just feeling really good?
Well, she's super sharp. She's always been good, but she's been doing some different things. And that's the great secret to this game, is that when you take the pressure off, you're actually better. And most people don't do that. And coaches don't do it. They're like, oh, you got to do this. But when you actually take the pressure off, you're more free. You're able to receive information better. You're able to actually execute easier. Like I said, you're freer. And that's where she is right now. And that's the one, and me and her talked about this, was that throughout camp, even when this fight gets announced, we have to make sure we maintain that and not ever, in a weird way, not take it too seriously, because that's when you start getting tight, and that's when you start putting pressure on yourself, and that's when you start making bad decisions, thinking that they're good decisions. So we're just trying to make sure that we keep everything light and always having fun and understand what this is really about. And it's just about having fun.
I've always been jealous of, maybe the last 3 to 5 years of my career. For whatever reason, I don't know if I started too early and maybe got burnt out, or maybe I just had so many other things going on. I could not bring myself to get into that mentality in between fights. When it was time to like buckle down and get ready, I was a total professional and 100% bought in. But it was the in between when I didn't have a target or a date. It's kind of been something that's plagued me my entire life, that I always need something to chase. I think I talked about this last podcast, but there's two types of people. They're either guys that always need someone to chase, like they have a goal, they have an ending spot, a person, whatever it is. And then there's some guys that are really good at being a front runner, where they don't need anything in front of them. They don't need the carrot dangled in front of them. They just go and they just run. And I could just never do that. So even like seeing basketball players and like a lot of the NFL guys, like they're working the entire offseason and they just seem to be having so much fun. And I could just never get myself into that mindset. There was always either something else that was more important at the time or something else that needed my focus, and I think I just did a bad job of balancing it. Like, I think I just went so hard in camp that I just couldn't be fucking bothered with it outside of it. But that was only like the last 3 or 4 years. When I was young, you couldn't keep me out of the gym.
Well, see, that's the problem too, is that so this game, it attracts a lot of people who think they can fight. So because a lot of people think they can fight, we've maybe inherently and inadvertently created barriers to keep them out by making it really hard for them, by making practice hard, by making it like, oh, you got to show up to practice, you got to do this. And we've made it hard and we've taken the fun away from it. Because if we made it too fun for everybody, then we'd have a lot of pussies in the sport.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we've created these barriers, but the reality is that we need it to be fun, because when it's fun, you don't need to have those goals. The goals are intrinsic to ourselves. And that's the way we want it to be. We want the fun to be the reward of doing it, to show up every day because it's fun. And then we fight better, we train better, we live our lives better because of that. But if we did it that way in the beginning, then everybody would want to do it, and the game would probably suck because people wouldn't actually be very good because they just came in and just got on the mats and slopped it up. But it sucks. It sucks too for that reason. That's why when I work with small groups, I'm only dealing with people that are already pretty good, that earn the right to have fun at this.
That makes a lot of sense. I never really thought about it that deeply, but like when I was at strength and conditioning at Factory X or at Landau's in Denver, there's a lot of NFL guys, a lot of Broncos guys go through there, a lot of Avalanche players, a lot of the Rockies guys. I'd be so jealous, like watching these pitchers and these baseball players do their workout, like in the off season. Like, damn, these dudes are over there just laughing and brohan and they're just fucking around. Like, they're getting some work in, but they're also having a good time. And like, I'm in the parking lot before we go in, trying to like get myself prepared for like the hell that I'm about to have to go through for an hour. But like, that never changes. So the guys that even in the off season that live in Denver, that's their normal Monday. Like, if they're just doing off season shit, like it's the same practice that I'm doing. There's no different. And it's like the same thing at Factory X. If I show up on a Tuesday, like I have to, whether I have a fight coming up or not, the practice is the same. And that's how it is at most places. Can you imagine just being in the off season and be like, yeah, I'm going to go into like extreme couture and I'm just going to go have a fun workout? No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Sean Strickland's no, you're not. Sean Strickland's going to punch you in the fucking face a lot. Like, if you're just in there to have a good time and just get a quick workout and just maybe work, I want to work on my jab today. Like, you can't do it in this game. So when I was young, I was grinding and I was still chasing, like I'm trying to make it. But then once you make it, like, oh man, I ain't trying to work that hard right now because I've been killing myself for 15 years. I don't know. I'm getting off on a rant, but I'm so jealous of people like Amanda who had found a way in a system to be able to do that was comfortable and fun.
So when I go to Philly and I work at Marquez MMA, I help, and that's the only big group that I'll work with. And sometimes there's guys on the mat who shouldn't be on the mat. We're like,
because they're not good enough.
They're not good enough. They're just not good enough. They've been training for like less than a year and they're not good enough. And so we have to make it hard for them. Like, yo, this is what it is. This hard, motherfucker. So you're not good enough to be here. And so so it's hard for them. And it has to be hard for them. But I don't necessarily like that. But we have to, because we need to get rid of them guys. They shouldn't be there. because if it was fun for them, then they would tell all their buddies, and it would really
And we don't want those guys either.
Yeah, and we don't want them, and it would mess up the practices for everybody. So I work with small groups, man, where we can get the work done and still have a good time, and they can enjoy it, and then it just makes the whole process of fighting a lot easier. And I think, Anthony, for you, especially for you, because I've remembered in your career where you were just probably like, oh my God, I do not feel like sparring today. But you should are going to sparring like that. You should be going into sparring like, oh, I can't wait to work on the things that we worked on during the week. And should be excited for it. But you never had the opportunity because it's always been set up for you to be like, all right, we got Dustin Jacoby and we got these dudes going to kill you today and you got to survive. And it's like, oh my God, I thought you guys were my friends.
Well, like even when I was excited, I'd show up to sparring on Fridays and I'd look at the board and it'd be like Dustin Jacoby, Rob Wilkinson, Cody Brundage, and then like another monster, like, oh my God, they flew in a motherfucker from Atlanta. This ain't fun.
They flew in a guy to kill me.
They brought in a motherfucker. Goddamn. Like, and it's kind of the same thing. Like, man, I thought we were friends, but then like I got 4 rounds in a row, 4 5s with a fresh dude every time. So fuck that dude from Atlanta. I beat that dude's ass, but not on round 4.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Fresh, and I'm gassed. This shit sucks.
Yeah, and
anyway,
I don't know. And
now I'm just complaining.
No, but you know what? But it at a certain point, it creates a trauma response, and sometimes fighters never get out of that trauma response during the fight. So then they go into the fight thinking it's going to be trauma, and they don't fight their best because they're just so used to getting their asses kicked every practice.
Right, the rounds are set up to lose.
Yeah, and they're not set up to win. And not that you set up your fighters to win, but you set up for the test.
You know how many times I've been in rounds? Oh, not even just at Factor X, but like at every gym I've been at where they're like, all right, that guy's not good enough to go with Anthony. So instead of just letting him work his way through a round and try some shit, you can only jab or you can only box. He can kickbox, knees, elbows, kicks, takedowns. You're only box. You're like, fuck. This sucks.
Like, yo, man, what y'all doing to me?
But man, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
All right, man. So, well, I'm glad that Amanda. I'm glad you guys are back together. To be honest, I love how. I don't know. I love how you talk about her. You can just tell there's a lot of love between the two of you. So I'm excited for both of you guys, and I hope that we can get her booked and on the books soon. Which brings me to the UFC card at the White House. I don't think that's probably where she's fighting, but it would be absolutely amazing if she did. Did you see these renderings or like these mock-ups of what it would look like?
I did. It's wild, man. I don't know how much I
don't
know. I feel like we're living in a simulation.
It's how it seems, right?
I don't know if this is real life or it's I feel like we're living in a simulation, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, when they first got brought up, I was like, no way. There's no way that we're gonna do a UFC event on the White House lawn. And then it like became like this real thing where there's like real renderings, and Dana's had he's got this whole plan, and I think it's gonna happen.
Me too.
I hope I work it.
Well, I mean, there's a good chance that we all might be working it at some capacity. Like,
if not Kelly.
Well, I mean,
Sirius XM ass.
you ain't getting no press pass, girl. No, but like if you work for the UFC at some capacity, they'll probably have a job for you there to do something. Like you're gonna be the roving reporter or doing something. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it feels like such a surreal thing that we're living in an age where the UFC is going to be at the White. Like it doesn't.
You weren't on TV at one point in time.
That's my point. Is I remember when John McCain was like, "Yo, we got to get rid of this."
Yeah, it's human cockfighting.
And it doesn't seem that long ago to me.
Yeah. All right, so I feel like everyone's just all but positive that it's going to be Conor, but I seen this thing the other day of DC almost, I don't know, advocating for John to be the main event at the White House. What do you think about that? Because Dana did say he doesn't trust John. But it also is weird that he trusts Conor because Conor did just pull out of a fight.
Here's my problem: is that you almost feel like you have to book them both.
I was just gonna say
in case one of them doesn't show up.
And then if they do, you get a dope doubleheader.
That's what I'm saying. But But here's the problem: is like all these guys are advocating for this, right? Oh, I want to fight as well. But I mean, but if they don't show up, like how bad is that?
Yeah.
Like, if they don't show up, how bad is that?
Real
Like
bad.
it's real bad. Like why? I don't know, man. I kind of think Conor would show up. I'm curious.
Well, who knows about it? What if his political career doesn't allow him the time? He might fuck around and be the president of Ireland.
Well, apparently he pulled out of that race, right?
I don't even know that was
so
real.
apparently he pulled out of that race, and I'm almost thinking like, was that part of and it might be like really silly thinking, but maybe he pulled out just so he could be fighting at the White House.
That's crazy. I got some friends that live just outside of Dublin, and the way that they explained it didn't even sound like it was even an actual possibility that Conor could do it. Probably a fun little sound bite. You know what I mean? It's a cool little clickbaity thing that Conor's an absolute pro at. I did think it was weird though to see Daniel Cormier like advocating for John. Like, what is happening here? Like, Daniel Cormier is advocating for John Jones, and Dana White didn't close the door on an Ariel Helwani like settling that beef. What the fuck is happening in 2025?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's, I just did UFC Unfiltered today, and I was talking to Matt. Me and Matt have been around the UFC. We were hired by the UFC back in 2001, both of us. And it's 2025, and we're still here. And at this point, I've been with the UFC for 24 years, and I'm tired of still like proving myself to the UFC.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it just feels like, oh my God, are you? And then with all this stuff happening, and like, I don't know, man. It's just it's a real weird time for MMA right now, and I miss the old days when we were just fighting in bars.
Okay, well, speaking of old days and fighting in bars, how about Charles Oliveira doesn't have an opponent? Okay. I don't know that anybody in the entire rankings at 155 pounds has a fight booked, and nobody's answering that call.
And no one is signed up to fight him.
You bunch of fucking pussies. That is so crazy to me. That is so
Benoit Saint Denis said he would do it.
There's a couple guys that like I'm going to give passes to, because you don't want to end up in a dust up with Charles Oliveira if you're like in title contention or in a like I'm not gonna harp on like I'm not gonna shit on Sarukian for not taking that fight. I'm not
right.
Yeah,
on, like he probably shouldn't take. No, yeah, like, you're right.
You shouldn't take that fight. Sarukian shouldn't take that fight. Paddy Pimblett shouldn't take that fight. But there is some of them like Benoit Saint Denis. You should take that fight.
Take the fight.
If you are what
Gamrot, take the fight.
Right. What? Not one of them have a fight booked. I don't think. Maybe I'm crazy.
To be fair, Gamrot did tweet that he wanted the fight, and Benoit Saint Denis said that he would fight. This was before Fiziev even fell out. He said he would be the backup, and then since he just fought, his manager said no.
Oh, so his manager's his boss?
The manager worked for you.
That's the other way around, dog.
Listen,
yeah, the manager worked for me.
Right, but that may be the smartest thing. He just fought.
No, but you said
then you can't walk around talking about how tough you are. You can't, and I can only say that because you can fucking call every UFC exec and fact check me. Every time they've called, I've answered. Every single time. And I've made that walk every single fucking time. So like, don't be huffing and puffing, talking about, oh, I want to be next for a title shot. I want to main it. Fuck you. You have an opportunity right now to go fight one of the biggest names in the entire division. And you're saying no. That's crazy. Don't talk shit. And I'm only saying that because Charles is the one who put out the video. Charles Oliveira never talks shit about nobody, ever. He's the nicest human on planet Earth. He'll come over, shake your hand, your coach's hands, all your corners, your mom, your dad, your kids, kiss them all on the forehead right before he's about to fuck you up. That's how nice of a guy he is. So for him to come out and make a video saying all these guys said that they wanted to fight and they would take it, and then when the UFC actually calls and they say no, I'm inclined to believe him.
Here's my thing. So we're living in an age where everybody's complaining about Dana signing all these guys from the Contender Series. Oh, he's just doing it because they're cheap.
Call one of them dudes. I bet they take it.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
These dudes are getting signed because they're young and they're hungry and they want the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So like we tend to look at these guys and, oh man, they're just trying to get cheap talent. No, that's not it. First off, if I had a guy who was cutting his teeth through the regional scene and he got signed from the Contender Series, I'd be happy as hell for him. I wouldn't think that he just got signed because he was cheap. I'd be as happy as hell for him because I know that he earned it and he deserved it. But these guys are hungry and they want the opportunity to prove themselves. What happens is these guys get to the UFC and then they start feeling entitled. Oh, it's my division. I'm not fighting this guy. I don't want to fight that guy. And then when you get to the point, oh, I don't need to fight this guy. I'm waiting for a title shot. Oh, I want to fight ahead of me. Like, there's got to be a point where I feel like the UFC should just really start calling dudes out and just show.
They never come out and like either dispel a rumor or confirm it.
If they were like, I wish the matchmakers
would like, that motherfucker said no.
Yeah, I wish the matchmakers would put like, these fights were offered to these guys, and these guys said no. Because that would change the way we looked at fighters. It really would.
Yeah, it's like public scoring.
Yeah,
like for the judges.
For sure.
They're going to pay a whole lot closer attention if the whole crowd and world see what you put down on that scorecard in the middle of the fight.
Absolutely. And they need to do that with fights that are offered to fighters because fighters get fights offered to them and they turn them down and then they go on the internet talk about, oh man, ain't nobody want to fight me. But like, dude, you got offered fights and you turned them down.
Mm-hmm. Just not the ones you wanted or the ones that you thought you could win. I get it. Charles Oliveira is a tough fight on short notice. But if you want to get him at the best possible time, it's probably right now coming off of a pretty wicked knockout loss with a pretty quick turnaround.
Facts.
That's how I would look at it. Like, shit, Charles Oliveira coming off of a brutal knockout. Maybe he's not 100%. Maybe he didn't spar because he's trying to let his brain heal. Maybe he's not going to be as sharp at game speed. That's how I would look at it.
I think maybe what'll happen is that Charles might have to fight up.
Like up a weight class?
I think that might be the situation. Like if they can't find a lightweight to fight him, maybe he just fights up and they just get a welterweight to give him a big match, it's final.
I say give him one of the Contender Series dudes.
just let him smoke a dude, right?
Yeah, fuck it. Give it bump that dude's pay a little bit and send him to Brazil.
Hell yeah. I don't know. See, I don't know. It just again, like these things, the age where we're at in MMA right now is just, I don't know. It's just bothering me a bit. These guys are just acting like they just feel so entitled to the game. And I don't really know why everybody feels like they're so entitled to the game.
What's caused this? Because I can tell that you've been a little bit annoyed with the game.
I think it's a lack of accountability because they don't get called out on it. No one calls people out on shit. So there's a lack of accountability. So then people just, and then obviously with social media, you have everybody has an equal platform to talk. And with the equal platform, everybody does talk and they can just say what they want. And they don't get called out on it. So it's really annoying to watch, actually. These guys just have this freedom to say what they want and not get called out on it.
Okay, well, here's a good segue for you. Speaking of getting called out on shit, I keep seeing this clip circulating of you talking about Magomed Ankalaev and Dakota Ditcheva. But that's a really old clip.
Dude, that's what I was like, because somebody's Ian Parker sent me this, right? Ian Parker was like, yo,
he sent you a clip of yourself?
No, he was like,
that's the most Ian Parker thing in the world. Can you believe you said that?
No, but actually Ian Parker just like sent me a message going, yeah, man, I agree with you. They should have traded her. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he sent me the link to it. And I was like, that interview that I did that was like a year ago. Mm-hmm. It was like a year ago when Magomed was out there begging for a title shot.
Right.
And to be fair, I had been saying the whole thing for like 2 years that they should have traded. So like there wasn't even, and they had like brought it up because I've been saying it. Say what?
So the context is different.
Yeah, the context is different because I had been, so when I did the interview, they brought it up because they had heard me say it like a year before that Dakota, they should have traded Dakota for Magomed. Magomed was like, he was on like a winning streak. No one cared about him. And I was like, yo, let this guy go to the PFL, make a couple $1 million and just trade him for Dakota. And so then when I said it on that podcast, which was like a year ago, he was still running around trying to get a title shot and no one was paying attention to him. So I was like, yo, just let him go to the PFL. He'll win the PFL tournament. He'll make $1 million. He'll make more money. He won't have to worry about. I just watched the fight with him and Alex the other day. They booed him. They booed him. And
He's
you
a
can't
hard guy to fight. He's
Yeah,
a
they booed him.
I stand by this. He's the hardest, most boring guy I've ever fought
For
because he
sure.
doesn't do a lot. He doesn't do a lot. He does just enough. He's really fundamentally sound, but his output is low. He's hard to get to. He's hard to hit. He's awkward, but he doesn't really do a lot. So like that's just kind of what his career is. There's no holy fuck moments. He's had one when he knocked out Cutelaba. And that's about it. He has no like a real oh shit moments. The other one was when Paul Craig armbarred him in the last set. Like it was off a loss. And I'm not hating on him. I mean, the dude beat me fair and square, but he's hard to fight and he's hard to be exciting with because you can't draw anything out of him. Do you stand by those comments though? Even though the context is different now.
Yeah, so as I was going through my thoughts, I was going through it. I was thinking about it last night, and I said, I would still trade him for Dakota. You can't tell, honestly, dig this.
Because if he loses to Pereira, no fucking way he gets a title shot again.
Not even that. The upside for signing a blonde-headed white girl that knocks girls out.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that
business.
wouldn't be more valuable than a dude who wrestles people. If Dakota Ditcheva came to the UFC and was knocking girls out, you couldn't tell me that she wouldn't instantly be a star. The same way Ronda was a star. And Ronda wasn't knocking her out, she was armbarring people. But if you had a white girl with blonde hair that looked like the girl next door that was knocking people out, the same way Sean O'Malley became a star, Dakota Ditcheva would be a star. If she was knocking people out the way she's doing in PFL in the UFC with the UFC behind her, she would be an instant star.
Well, I mean, look at Paige Van Zandt.
Absolutely.
Absolute superstar. And then add in Sean O'Malley type knockouts. That's crazy.
Crazy. That's what I'm saying. The upside to having her would have just been so high. She would have immediately, they would have fed her somebody, boom, knocked him out. Everybody like, yo, who's this girl? She'd have felt somebody else, knocked him out, boom, who's this girl? She could have probably been one of the biggest stars in the UFC.
She still could be.
For sure.
Because I know that she did just re-sign a new contract with the PFL, but I don't think it's that long.
Really?
And I think she's out.
Like imagine if she did what she did to Talia Santos. Imagine she did that in the UFC.
Talia Santos that's that girl that took I think
Valentina Shevchenko who lost that questionable decision to Valentina.
You and me were in Bristol working the event in Bristol, and both of us were like, damn, I can't believe Valentina just lost her belt.
Yep.
Crazy.
Now imagine if she did that to her after that fight, and she did that to her and dropped her. Yeah. Man, she would have been an instant star.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. No, I don't disagree. I didn't disagree with you when you said it. When I first seen it, I was like, that doesn't seem like that's recent. Because
that's what I'm saying. That shit was like a year old.
A bunch of shit like that recently.
I was like, these smug motherfuckers always bring up some old shit to try to make me look bad.
Dude, it's about time you feel like I used to feel. They do this shit to me all the time, constantly. And I just got to the point where I stopped caring. Like, I'll start playing games with Kelly and be like, hey, how many times do you think we can get something to go real fucking stupid viral? I'm just gonna say something crazy and just watch people jump all over it.
Well, so like that's not what bothers me, man. It's not what bothers like the fans. They're pretty stupid anyway. So like that doesn't bother me. But you know what does bother me, man? Is it like we got to be in a hotel with these dudes,
right? And then they want to fight us.
Yeah, man. Like
I'm mad about it.
Now I got to be in a hotel, man, and I got to worry about like between like him and Hamzat people, man. Now I got like the entire Russian community trying to beat me up on some bullshit.
Them British folks don't like you either after the Leon Edwards stuff.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's funny because you said that shit on here.
Yeah, man. Like I'm like, yo, I need wherever Joe Rogan stay. That's where I'm staying.
They have to start putting you in Joe Rogan's hotel.
Yeah, man, it's crazy because like. Now I can't even. Now I got, and I'm not trying to mince my words though. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's not cool either. Right.
You don't want to tiptoe around it either.
Yeah. I got to tiptoe around stuff. I don't want to tiptoe around stuff. Like they hired me to say stuff.
Man, and I agreed with the way that like people took that Leon Edwards thing way out of context. Like because we put it out in its entirety. The whole way that you explained it. But then people take our shit and then they clip it and they're like, Leon Edwards ain't no real fighter. I'm like, damn, that's not what he said.
And
I mean, he did say that, but he didn't say it like that.
like they don't understand what I meant by fighter. And like I still have to explain it to Cutman Tate every time I see him. How you gonna say Leon Edwards ain't a real fighter?
He
I'm like,
they
dude,
know about fighting.
yeah,
All
I'm
you
like,
gotta do is fighting his obesity.
yeah, big soft ass.
I'm so
But no,
I'm so sick of his shit
every
too.
time. I gotta explain it to him every time. I'm like, it's not what I'm. That's why I'm like, yo, all right, never mind. I don't even care.
Well, then you get in this position where then you're like, oh man, I don't really want to say that. But then I feel like I'm letting people punk me. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. And if you don't like it, change the channel.
Ain't that what we get paid for?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not paid to ride the fence.
That's what I'm saying. We don't get paid to ride the fence, and we don't get paid to make people feel good.
No.
Like that's not like my job isn't to like say stuff to make you feel good. And I was on the desk the other day with Karen and Paul Felder. We were in Paris, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's like every time I say something, and their reactions are like, oh my god. I'm like, yo, it's not that bad, is it? Did I say something that was really bad? It's not that bad.
People get so nervous
Yeah.
about what other people's reactions are going to be, and I've always just I think that's why you and I get along so well, because I'm just honest. And maybe you disagree with it, but it's my honest feelings. I'm never giving you any kind of fluff. I'm never bullshitting you.
Well, and you know why I think that we're this way? Because we have very similar backgrounds in the way we came up in the fighting world.
Yeah.
We came up when it was hard, and we were honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were honest with ourselves. It was like, you know what? Either, we had fights and maybe we weren't good enough, and we were honest about that. Hey, man, this guy beat me. I wasn't good enough. And then if I say that about a fighter nowadays, they're like, oh, how dare you?
I can't believe you'd say that about me. Well, you lost, motherfucker.
Yeah, he lost. Like, what you want me to do? He lost.
I said you weren't going to win, and then you didn't win, and you're mad at me because I said you weren't going to win. You know how often that happens? It happens all the time.
Half the time.
I can't believe you said that. What'd I say? You said I was going to lose. You lost. Man, you didn't have to say it, though. What do you think I'm sitting up here to be paid to do?
I don't know any other way to do it.
I earned the right to be able to say those things.
Yeah, I don't know any other way.
20 years of shit. I ate 20 years of shit to be able to sit up here and say that shit. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And you're not my friend,
right? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Like I
don't hang out with you guys.
I can't tiptoe around it and mince my words. Like I can't do it, man. That'd be unfair. It's unfair to me, and it's also unfair to the audience.
Well, the only fighter I hang out with really is you. That's it.
And you ain't got to worry about me because I don't fight. And I'll be honest with you, like I can't fight. I'm almost 50.
We should get you a fight.
Get me a boxing match somewhere.
Who would you want to box?
Somebody that's almost 50.
No, but someone that can't win.
Yeah, that's what that's got to be someone that can't win.
Yeah, someone. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll be your manager.
Yeah,
Kelly, I feel like you got something you want to say.
I absolutely don't.
You got nothing. This whole time we've been talking, you didn't come up with nothing you want to talk about?
I'm just enjoying listening to you two, as usual.
Really? I mean, don't hype us up. You know what I mean? Don't make us feel too good about ourselves.
But I already know what the comments are going to be. It's
What
going
are
to
they
be like, it's two motherfuckers looking at each other saying, I told you so. People are going to be on your shit. I already know it.
That's okay. We don't care.
No,
I don't care.
We don't care. Hey, what do you, I'm just bouncing around. What do you think of this Oldberg-Reyes matchup? It just popped in my head.
Oh, Ober. Oh, man, that's such a tough one to call because
it's a fun fight, though.
It is a fun fight, but when you're dealing with those, see,
Reyes is inconsistent.
Reyes
has been pretty consistent.
Yeah, but so there's always an element of luck.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always an element of luck. And I almost feel like in fights like this, that element of luck plays a factor more often than not. Like a punch that probably shouldn't have hit him. He slips the wrong way, just that one little moment, and bip, he gets clipped, and then it's over, and then the ref stops it. And it's like, damn, we really didn't get a chance to see what happens if these guys really fought. So a fight like this is so difficult for me to pick. And I thought about it. I was like, because both of these guys have the ability to knock each other out. It's just a matter of who's going to do it at the right time. And I don't think that a setup is going to do it. I think it's a matter of like who's going to get lucky enough to get that first shot in.
Right. They're both southpaws too, huh? I think.
Yeah.
Is Oldberg a southpaw? I think he is.
He might switch a little bit though.
Yeah. He's good looking too.
Yeah, he's a good looking guy.
Didn't he have like? Look at Kelly. She's like, hell yeah.
Now I have something to say.
Already.
What do you? They kept having a bunch of offers to have him on like the New Zealand or the Australian version of The Bachelor or whatever it is, or whatever that TV show is. If I was him and I look like him, I wouldn't. You couldn't catch me in a fight.
Well, I mean,
I'd be
it
on a
does
surfboard with a honey on my shoulders.
well, I mean, it does add to his allure, though, like the fact that he can fight too.
Yeah, you don't really have to though. You could just do it a couple times and just tell people you fight.
That's what I would do.
That's 100% what I would do.
Yeah, I would have fought a few
You
times.
got options. I didn't have options.
Yeah, yeah, I'd fight this time, maybe you know what I'm saying, like. But the moment you start getting hit, that's a wrap. I'm not doing.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm
telling you, because they're not putting Sloth from the Goonies on The Bachelor.
No,
they ain't doing that. So I got to fight.
Yeah, right. We had to. We ain't had no options.
You don't even want to put me in like a, I don't know, at the grocery store putting the groceries in the bags. I scare people away, little old ladies.
Yeah, right.
I got to fight. That's all I got.
But no, I think it's a good fun fight, and it's one of them cards. Like, it's in Australia. I expect the whole card. Like, there's not a lot of like crazy names on it that you're like, ooh, I'm clamoring to see it. But it's probably going to be a good night of fights, though.
Man, you see what they did to our man Neil Magny?
What they do?
He's fighting Jake Matthews.
Well, honestly, man, that's in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with that one.
I don't like it.
Why?
Because I think Neil's earned the right to get some fun, like legacy type of fights.
That's true too. But you know what?
Like, and I'm not gonna knock. I'm not trying to knock him. I know people are gonna fucking clip this, gonna make it sound like I'm talking shit about my friend. I'm not talking shit about him. But Michael Chiesa has had some really fun matchups recently. Dude,
Michael Chiesa be getting the matchups.
He's been getting some great matchups, some fun fights, some legacy type of fights. He had Tony Ferguson, and then he had, who was the last one?
Court McGee.
Some fun legacy type of fights where you can just go in there, train your fucking ass off, show up, fight another vet like yourself, and just have some fun. And the Court McGee fight wasn't a great fight, and sometimes you just end up. I'm not blaming either one of those guys for that. Sometimes the matchups are just weird. Court McGee's hard to fight,
but there was no threat. There was no threat,
right? And I like, damn man, why can't we get Neil like a Tony or a Court or like give him someone his age? You know what I mean? Like not this banging ass boxer that's gonna rip the body shots, hard as shit to take down, really good gas tank. Like, goddamn, man, like Neil's damn near your age.
Well, the one it's not far off. His hairline is.
I just like Neil so much, man. And like, can we just stop? Can we just stop and just?
Neil is my man. Neil is my man.
Mine too.
I went on record, man, and I went on a post show like, yo, stop calling out my man Neil Magny. Who was it that called him out in Paris? Because I forgot who it was, but I'm just like, yo. So that's why, like with the Jake Matthews fight, I'm actually okay with it because at least Jake Matthews has been around the UFC for a while,
and he's respectful.
Yeah, he'll
be the guy that afterwards will give Neil his props and pick him up if he wins. That's not an easy win. I mean, Neil's still tough as nails.
He's been around for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
But it's these other dudes, man, that are like climbing the ranks. Just got here, won a couple fights. They're like, "Ooh, give me Neil Magny," and I'm like, "Stop."
Like Buckley, let me get Magny.
Yeah,
man, go somewhere else. Get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, like to me, I'm like, yo, nothing screams punk like that. Like you trying to pick on the old dude. Like with so many talented up and coming fighters in the welterweight division,
right?
Leave Neil Magny alone. Like you're right, Neil Magny deserves some funner older guys. Like let him fight Court McGee. You know what I'm saying?
That would be
honestly, let him fight. Let him fight Mike Chiesa.
Let him fight Chiesa. That's a good fight. That's a great.
You know what I'm saying? Let's let them dudes fight, man. But when these young guys are always like, because Neil's gonna say yeah to all of them.
He is.
He's gonna be like, yeah, all right, cool, let's do it. And these guys are just getting like,
he's gonna go in believing he can win. And every once in a while, he pops off one of those young kids like that. Mike Malott.
Yeah.
And when he beat that kid, I was like, God damn, Neil Magny. So he got it in there somewhere.
I don't think he would do it twice though.
Well, I mean, maybe not, but he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
He's just aging out. It's not even, a young Neil probably beats that kid. Like young Neil and Mike Malott now. I think Neil probably wins that fight every time.
For sure. But
he's had a lot go on.
Yeah, I'm sick of the Neil Magny call out, and I will scream that to the mountaintop. Like, stop calling out Neil Magny. Like, if you think that you are him, if you're a welterweight and you feel like you him, don't call out Neil Magny.
Yeah, call out who's that?
Call out Michael Morales.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, call out Michael Morales.
Yeah. But yo,
If you're that guy.
if y'all think Michael Morales is that dude, let me show y'all who that dude is. I'm that dude. Call
Shit,
him out.
I'm not calling him out.
Yeah, call him out.
No.
But don't call out Neil Magny like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show everybody how tough I am. I'm gonna call out the oldest guy in the division because he's got the most wins. He's also probably got the most losses.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm over it. All right, Dean. Before we get you out of here, what else you got going on? What do you got coming up?
This week I'm going to CFFC on Wednesday to commentate in North Dakota.
Dude, I'll be there.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I'm here. I leave Wednesday morning from here in Vegas because I'm calling the Contender Series tomorrow. And then I leave Thursday and I fly.
Oh, your boy is fighting, ain't he?
Yeah, Blaine's fighting.
Blaine's fighting. That's right. Yeah. I thought I saw him on the card. Yeah, I'm commentating.
Damn, let's get some dinner.
Man, let's do it.
I owe Thursday, you. I get there Thursday. Dude, how about Grand Forks, North Dakota? I fought there at that exact casino one time. Okay, I got a funny story for you. I took a short notice fight. I was back when I was on the regional scene trying to make it back. And I cannot remember this guy's name. He ended up beating King Mo though in Bellator. The kickboxer.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name either.
Yeah, damn, I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. But so I show up, Grand Forks, North Dakota. When I fought, it was 100% the coldest place on the entire planet. I've never been a colder place in the wintertime in my entire life. I drove there Thanksgiving Day. So I missed Thanksgiving. I go there. I'm overweight. It's at 85. And I just had this fucked up coach at the time. And there was supposed to be a hot tub and sauna. There wasn't either. So he had to wrap me in saran wrap. And I go to get on the bike and there's this little dude on the bike next to me. And so where I'm just grinding it out, trying to get these last 2 pounds off. And he like looks over and says, "You better fucking make it." I was like, what? It turns out it was my opponent, like this little tiny. I thought he was like a welterweight. So then I was mad. So I make weight. Also in that there's a lot of like oil fields and oil rigs, but it gets so cold that all the vehicles and equipment, everything is diesel. So you can't turn anything off because as soon as you turn it off, the diesel fuel will start to gel. So we were there for like 4 days and every single vehicle in that entire town that was diesel just runs the whole time. They just lock it for their key from the outside. And then if it shuts off, they'll never get started again. It was so cold. There's this real cool lake right there. We tried to take a picture and I thought my fingers were going to freeze off being outside for 30 seconds. Anyway, so I go, I fight, I end up, smoking this dude. But right before I fought, there was like an intermission and it was supposed to be, they had like guest fighters that they had paid to come, right? It wasn't a CFFC show. I don't remember the organization at the time, but same casino though. And there's a lot of natives. It's just a lot of Native American people. And that's kind of, you know how it is. That's when you're on the regional scene in the Midwest, you end up fighting on Native American reservations or casinos a lot. So there was supposed to be another like UFC fighter that was supposed to be there as a guest. For whatever reason, that guy couldn't make it. So they brought in Fabricio Werdum. So I had trained, I've told this story where I thought Fabricio Werdum was going to kill me at King's. And this was like, this is 3 or 4 years later. And Fabricio sees me. And I remember feeling so goddamn embarrassed because he sees me and it was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm fighting." And he goes, "Here? You're fighting here? Why are you not in the UFC?" And I said, "I fucking fought once and got cut." So I'm like on the regional scene trying to grind my way back. And he goes, "Oh," he was just so disgusted. And the feeling I had inside was just pure embarrassment.
Oh man.
But then they hold this intermission and Fabricio goes up into the cage and they introduce him and they say, UFC superstar Fabricio Werdum, blah, 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 blah. And he grabs the microphone and it's nothing but Native American folks in this entire crowd. And Fabricio starts speaking Spanish to them because he thinks they're all Mexican. So he does his whole entire speech. The Brazilian whose native language is Portuguese spends 5 minutes in this little cage in Grand Forks, North Dakota at this casino speaking Spanish to all the crowd and then says, "Thank you." And then just walks out. It was
Oh, and
wild.
they had no idea what the hell he was saying.
Absolutely. I mean, what the 4 people in the crowd that spoke Spanish, maybe. Oh, it was great.
Oh,
Oh, I was
and
fucking
I've
dying.
I've been there, man, where you're fighting in these small shows and you're thinking to yourself, like, is this what it's become?
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
was just
this is
crushed
what
too
it
when he said that, like, yeah, I made a fortune too for the regional scene fight though, because I took it on short notice, forced them to pay me in cash before I left too. So I made like I think I made 10 grand in cash
Oh, no
just
kidding.
for that fight because
That 10 grand in cash hit good too, boy. That shit hit
I
different.
needed it too at the time. It was but like nobody makes 10 grand cash
I
on the
know.
regional scene. Nobody.
Yeah.
So I was making like that fight I made a fortune for me at the time, but damn. I was so embarrassed. You're fighting here? Damn, yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah, here I am.
Oh man, just thinking about like hearing you tell that story, and I'm thinking about some of the spots that I had to fight after my UFC run. Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing actually. It's like, oh man, what
I'd
was
already
I
been in
doing?
Strike Force. I'd already been in the UFC. I'd fought twice or 3 times. I was 3-0 in Bellator. I had fought, I'd already fought like Lamumba Sayers and Adlon Amagov and Hodger Gracie. Like I'd already fought like all these pretty tough dudes. And then like here I am in Grand Forks, North Dakota, like fighting this no-name kid who actually turned out to be pretty good. He was like 9-0 at the time or something like that, like a multiple time like national world champion kickboxer, like real nasty kickboxer. And then even after that fight, he won a few times and then went on, had a pretty good run in Bellator, knocked out King Mo. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it turned out to be pretty
remember that.
good.
Yeah, yeah. He turned. I
He
can't
did.
remember what his name is though, but I
I don't remember his name either,
exactly
but
what you're talking about.
yeah, it was, but I like just the ego check.
Yeah.
You really ain't shit. You're driving here on
Hey man,
Thanksgiving.
that's why I be trying to tell people, man, like your career is good for a minute, but then after a while, I mean,
And most people don't get the second run that I got.
yeah. You had a good second run. I mean, your second run was way better than the first run.
Way better, way
Yeah.
better. But I mean, a bit of, like you said, a bit of that is luck. But kind of just right time, right place, right person. I was
Yep.
able just to beat the right people at the right time. But fuck, I think about that casino all the time, just how absolutely embarrassed I was when Fabricio Werdum recognized me and just couldn't believe that I was fighting in a place like that. But the CFC now it's a different organization now that fights out of there. So the CFFC is a good show. It's on Fight Pass. They put real money in real production. They bring in real dudes, but it's hard to get to.
Mhm.
When we land, you got to drive like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I saw that because I was thinking about because I got again, this is kind of the theme, having to go backwards. I'm looking at my flight. I'm like, yo, I can't even like the ticket was so cheap on the airline. They won't even let me upgrade. Like they got the most
There is
basic,
no upgrade.
There was no upgrade to it. The ticket was so cheap. And I called the airline and they was like, yeah, they got like the bottom of the barrel ticket and you can't even upgrade. I was like, damn. So because I was like,
If
yo, I'm
you
gonna
upgrade, you'd be sitting next to the pilot anyway.
yeah. So I was gonna upgrade and then I was gonna just land and I was gonna probably rent my own car and drive over. And then I saw it was like an hour and a half drive. I said, man, I'm just gonna eat this one. I'm just gonna just thug this one out and just
Yeah, you got to. I did rent a car because I'm not trying to be in this shuttle for an hour and a half.
I'm gonna have to be in the shuttle, man.
Yeah, I just rented a Tahoe and I was like, man, I guess I'm just gonna have to drive this hour and a half for Blaine. But it was it was funny when they were like booking the flights, like, which one do you want to fly into? And I don't remember which one I picked because no matter what, it's an hour and a half drive. And I was like, no matter what, you have to tell Blaine he better get me a helicopter shuttle or something. They're like, well, the $8 he's making,
Yeah, right.
no helicopter budget. I said, all right, I'll rent the car. It's crazy though, because like even the regional scene shows, like, and this isn't a knock on the CFFC. The shows have to be within budget. So like,
Right.
when I go, like, I don't like I buy my own hotel room, I get my own rental, I pay for my own shit because I don't know. I just don't want him to have to eat that shit. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. And like I feel the same way too. Like that's why I was willing to just upgrade myself on the flight and just
For sure.
because I understand with their budget, and I was just gonna upgrade myself and I was gonna rent my own car and all that stuff. But then I was just like, nah, I'm gonna just eat this one like a poor dude. I was be poor.
Dean's gonna be riding in the bathroom,
Yeah.
sitting on the shitter. This is what they got you, dog. Every time someone has to use it, though, you got to get up and get out.
Yeah, that's just what it is this time. But
What day
so
do you
like,
get in?
yeah, I get in Wednesday. I get in Wednesday night.
We'll
So
move it to Thursday, and then you can just ride with me.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just move. No, move your flight
No.
to Thursday.
Oh, moving the flight till Thursday?
Yeah, and you just ride with me.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right,
I don't know if I can change it. That's what I'm saying. The ticket was so cheap, I can't change it.
That's because you riding with the luggage.
Yeah. No, but then after that, I'm working UFC BJJ next week.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm cornering Joe Pyfer against Abus Magomedov for UFC 320, and then I'm handling my UFC 320 duties, and then that's all I know for the next 2 weeks, and then after that, I gotta look at my schedule again. So
Perfect. Well, I'm gonna be seeing you a bunch. I'll see you in North Dakota, and then I'm working UFC 320, and then I'm on the Contender Series right after that. So I'm just gonna stay Sunday, Monday, and then work Tuesday and go home Wednesday. So. All right, bro. Will you get out of here? I bet you got a whole bunch of shit you got to do. And
I got to train, man. I got the Russian connection trying to take my head off.
All right, you better go get in the gym. Thanks a lot, bro. As always.
All right, man. I'll catch up, man. Peace.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults aged 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco. If you're 21 or older and use nicotine or tobacco, it's time you charge ahead and join the herd with America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative, Black Buffalo. Now available at thousands of best-in-class retailers like Wawa, Circle K, Sheetz, Love's, Pilot, Racetrack, and more. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015 to honor the ritual and tradition of dip without the tobacco leaf or stem. Black Buffalo's long cut and pouches are made of barn-cured leafy greens that dip and feel like traditional products, all with food-grade ingredients and USP-grade nicotine. You're in good company with the Black Buffalo herd. Brand ambassadors like MMA Hall of Famer Cowboy Cerrone, professional race car driver Ryan Blaney, and country music star Larry Fleet all proudly dip Black Buffalo tobacco alternative, an American brand built on authenticity and respect. If you're looking for a real dip experience, long cut or pouches, go to blackbuffalo.com to join the herd. Use their store locator to find a retailer near you or ship products directly to you in most states. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative. The future of dip, honoring the past.
I feel like you guys didn't really dive into it. You kind of glossed over the fact that you're calling the Contender Series tomorrow. It's a big deal for you. Are you excited?
Yeah, it's my first gig actually doing color, doing the color commentary, calling fights live. Yeah, I'm excited. A bit nervous, if I'm being honest. It's just a different role that I've never done for the UFC before. I've done it like regionally, like for the LFA, and some other small organizations. But yeah, it's a big deal. It's fun. I'm excited. I'm here in Vegas. I came early so I could really just, so we get the podcast in, and then I have plenty of time to dig into these guys and give them the time that they deserve. So yeah, I'm excited.
You should be excited. We've talked about it a bunch on the podcast, but it does feel like the natural progression for you. You've worked the desk for so long. When we've had John Anik on, he said that he hopes to look to his right one day and see you beside him. So it feels, and really no better time. The UFC is about to switch platforms. You're about to showcase some skills. This is
Let's
great.
go. Yeah, let's go. We'll see how it goes. I think there's going to be more opportunities for fights. And again, I want to make this very, very clear. As much as I want to publicly stake my claim and want an opportunity to call fights, by doing that in the current climate means that someone like one of my friends wouldn't get that opportunity. I'm never going to take Daniel Cormier's job. I'm not saying that. And I'm never going to take Paul's or Dominic's or Bisping or whoever. I don't want their job. I want to do what they do. I just hope that and it sounds like this Paramount deal is going to afford more opportunities and more shows and more, just more opportunities to do this. So I just always feel so uncomfortable when people are like, I really want to work the desk. And like people come up to me like, oh my God, dude, can you put a good word in? Can you help me? I really like to work the desk. Like what you're really saying is I want your job. And so I don't want to do that to my friends and my coworkers. I don't want to be the one that's out here just waving the flag. I want to call fights. I want to call fights. I want to call fights, because that means whatever opportunity I would get means they weren't getting one.
But
And
like you said, there's about to be increased opportunity and
Mhm,
expanded shows. Dana White
for
spoke
sure.
about the Paramount deal and the things that he wants to do. So there's going to be plenty outside of UFC fight nights and UFC, I guess not even pay-per-views anymore. I don't know if they're going to just call them just numbered events, I guess is the way to put
Yeah.
it.
What do they call them in the WWE?
Premium live events, PLEs.
PLEs. That's right. Sorry, excuse my yawn. It's an early flight this morning.
It's all right. You didn't yawn with Dean for 50 minutes. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
No worries.
I think I did once.
No, but seriously, I think there's room for everybody. I mean,
Mhm,
even just the little things. Rogan doesn't go out of the country anymore. People have families, they have things to do, people get sick.
right.
I think if you can just showcase your skill set and put your name in the hat and just be part of the rotation, I don't think that's taking away from anybody. Of
No, and if they and some of those guys need breaks. Like,
course.
Obviously DC's always gonna be on every single pay-per-view or numbered event or PLE or whatever we're calling it now. It's always gonna be DC. But like if there's a fight night and he's in wrestling season and he needs a break and I've cut my teeth and I've proven that I'm good enough to be in that position, I would love the opportunity. Um, so this is kind of the beginning of I don't even know if it's the beginning. I think this is just seeing if I have it. You know what I mean? This is my opportunity to show that I have the ability, and then we'll go on. And we'll see where we go from there.
Well,
I
I think
think that
that's
my
how people started seeing, and I think everyone knew she was going to be fantastic and knock it out of the park as she always does. But I think with Laura calling the fights for Contender Series, on
Mhm,
top of just her role of being the Octagon reporter and telling the stories of those guys, when she
right.
actually got the chance to call the fights, everyone was like, "God damn, is she good?"
She's good, and I think my skill set is better suited in that role. To be honest, like I've gotten much better, especially on the pay-per-views, of being what you need to be in that role, but
Mhm.
I'm just really analytical, and I'm just really excited and passionate about talking about the actual fights, uh, and the models are different, like the ESPN pay-per-view model, when I'm working for ESPN and we're working a pay-per-view, we're kinda selling, like, the idea is that we're working our way into getting people to hit that buy button and giving the storylines and really trying to get an emotional reaction from people that makes them wanna tune in and watch and be a part of it, essentially. The fight nights, we get to nerd out a little more and really talk about the X's and the O's, and that's where I think I shine, is really
Absolutely.
breaking that part of it down, and then I believe I'm even better at doing it in real time. Like, like, my friends all circle around me when we watch fights together, and they just listen to me talk as it's happening, and then a lot of times, like when we're watching fights, the pay-per-views, they'll have me put my headset on for the co-main and main event, and I'll just talk to Bristol. They'll just leave my mic open to Bristol because then everyone's learning something as the fight's happening. And then they know what to key in on and what to like really pinpoint when we come into the post show. Because like they're not fighters. They don't get it. They're sports people for sure, but like they don't know that, if there's a guy that's really working the leg kicks and that's the setup to, like, for example, the Leon Edwards thing. Like the head kick on Kamaru Usman was fantastic, but the setup was the really beautiful part of that. And as that's happening, I'm like talking to them, and I actually say it. There's actually a clip of me talking to the crew in Bristol, like, man, he keeps going low with that leg, and Kamaru's dropping his hand. Like if he doesn't stay fundamentally sound, Leon's going to take that high. And it was like 10 seconds later, he just bam, fucking head kick. I look like a genius.
So while you were saying that, Dean was saying Leon Edwards is a broken man, and then
Yeah,
the infamous moment happens. It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. That's
Great
crazy.
comparison.
Yeah, isn't that like the yin and the yang of me and Dean? It's so funny.
I'm so excited for you though. I can't wait to watch and listen tomorrow. Who are you calling the fights alongside?
I'm not sure. I think it's me, Laura, and Helly.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I like Dan Helly a lot too. He's fun.
We jumped right into it though. We didn't even do any pleasantries or anything. Dean was here. We were ready to go. A
Mhm.
lot to get to. How was your weekend?
Oh my god, it was great. We were in Denver all weekend. Adley wrestled in this preseason, kind of like a preseason national tournament. We wrestled in it 2 years ago, and she got third, but it was a really small bracket, and there wasn't a girls division 2 years ago. So she wrestled in a boys division 2 years ago, and it was a really fun tournament though. It's called the Cosmic Clash,
Mhm.
and it's a black light tournament. So they turn the lights all the way down. There's black lights everywhere, and then everything glows. All the lines on the mats, the kids' singlets, Like the girls were like using highlighters and stuff on their face, and then so when they go out there on the mat, they just light it.
Mhm.
It's cool. They capped it at 2,000 wrestlers, and it sold out completely. So it was huge. It was huge, and it's a 1-day tournament. So they ran the whole thing. They had a morning wave, and then we were in the afternoon wave. So it was Adley and Maisley, her like little best friend training
Mhm.
partner. And Maisley's a savage. But we didn't put him in it last year because Maisley didn't place in it last year. Or 2 years ago. Maisley didn't place. Adley got third in a boys division. They were both in boys brackets. And last year, I don't know. I didn't feel it. I don't know that. I think Maisley had like a soccer tournament, and then I just wasn't quite ready for Adley to jump in. They did have a girls bracket last year, and so it's a tough tournament though. It's really hard. There's kids from all over the entire country. So I didn't put her in it last year. And this year she's starting to turn the corner a little bit. Like she's winning, but like there's some things I needed to see
Yeah.
before I threw her back in kind of the deep end. And that fucking kid won the whole tournament.
You're kidding.
She won the whole, she had 3 points scored on her the entire tournament. She gave up 3 escapes the entire tournament. That's it. 3 1-point escapes. That's all she gave up. It was, I was so nervous too. I've never been more nervous. Like watching my kids, like watching Araya and Avea play basketball and volleyball, my hands are fucking sweating and I just want them to perform. But I'm a tad bit more nervous watching Adley because she's just out there by herself. Like if Araya or Avea are having a tough game, like they have their teammates they can kind of lean on.
Absolutely.
But it's just little Adley out there by herself.
There's a vulnerability in individual sports.
And wrestling's
for sure.
hard. And wrestling's so hard. And we're about to wrestle. The building was hot as fuck. We're about to wrestle so the brackets come out the night before. Me and Matt, Maisley's dad, and he coaches too. So we're downstairs. All the kids are in bed. Michaela was in bed, and the brackets came out at like 11:30 p.m. And then I pulled up the bracket, and I was like, "Fuck!" They didn't do any seeding because they only seed like in this tournament. They only seed kids that are in their organizations.
Okay.
That wrestle their tournaments. So no one in her bracket was seeded. And so it was kind of just a random draw. And she drew the toughest girl in the entire tournament. First round. So and she hasn't wrestled since she won state last year. So at the end of last season, she won districts, USA state, and then AAU state. So she went back to back to back and won all 3. And then we haven't wrestled since.
She's been like playing soccer, right?
She's been playing. Well, she's been practicing twice a week, but it's just like a preseason, kind of like a preseason camp to get everyone ready for regular camp because some of them do wrestle some of these bigger preseason tournaments. But she's been playing soccer, so it's not like we're super dialed into wrestling right now.
Right.
But she hasn't been in an actual match since the end of last season.
Right, like a competitive setting.
Yeah, so I was like, and she trains and practices with a lot of boys, so it's hard to tell where she really is because all of her training partners, especially preseason, the only kids that wrestle preseason are good. So it's a bunch of good boys that are, a couple of them are nationally ranked, but boys are just different than girls. They scramble better. They're stronger, even at the same age, same weight. They're stronger. They're faster. And They scramble better. So it's hard to tell like where she is because a lot of times she loses a lot of those matches. And I could tell like she was way more competitive recently than she has been previously. So, but I have no idea where she is. Like it's hard to tell until I get her in there with a bunch of really good girls.
You can feel good about it, but you don't really know.
I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know where she is. And then we draw the toughest girl in the tournament who just wrestled 2 months ago because that girl wrestled folk style and then transitioned right into freestyle and was wrestling 10U and 10U boys divisions.
Oh, she's a unit.
So yeah, I'm like looking at her records. This girl's like 35-8. And I was like, God damn, this kid. And the only
Why
losses.
does she have like the same MMA record as you?
Fuck, I don't know.
You have man fights.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like she had a shit ton of matches. She was like from Indiana, maybe. And like no one brings their kid from Indiana if they're not good. Like she didn't wrestle one kid that was from Nebraska or Colorado or anywhere close. It was like one kid from Indiana, one kid from like Washington, and then I don't know, two other places, like nowhere close. So she goes out there and she ends up beating that girl like 9-1. I was like, oh shit. Okay. All right, this is gonna be fun.
It's like honestly, she set the tone early.
She did.
Toughest girl in the bracket.
She took out the toughest girl in the bracket, right?
You
And
got to be feeling good after that.
I was relieved for sure. Cause I was definitely relieved. Like, I don't know. I was so goddamn nervous. And that girl, like, you could look at her and tell, like, oh shit, this chick is tough. This chick is tough. And like her coaches were her dad, and he seemed unconcerned. And I'm over there
That's
just
even worse.
fucking cringing on the inside. Like,
Trembling.
God damn it. Of course we draw. Like, I'm fine with tough matches. Like, I don't really care about the wins and the losses. God damn, can we get a warm up? Like, can we ease into this goddamn
Well, the
tournament?
first competitive match she has in,
Yeah.
since last season, of course, you'd like a little bit of a tune-up.
Well, and I was complaining to my, just to Matt, saying, no way that this is so bullshit that the way that they didn't seed them. Because now, no matter what, one of them, the best they can do is third place. Neither one of them are the third best wrestler in that division. But then I ended up kind of eating my words, because in this tournament, you can wrestle back for true second. So if the person that got second place, so say Adley lost and
Okay.
she wrestled all the way back through the consolation bracket and won the rest of the way out, she would get third place. It's the best you can do. But if you haven't wrestled the person that got second place, you can challenge for true second
Oh,
if you haven't wrestled that person already. So like if you get beat in the semis and then you win your way out to get third, but the person that beat you got second, you can't wrestle back for second. So
well, that makes sense.
the girl that Adley beat in the finals, or no, in the semi, the girl that Adley beat in the semis, that ended up getting let me think here. So the girl that she beat first wrestled back for true second. So then the girl that Adley beat in the finals had to wrestle again, because that
Oh,
girl
no.
challenged her for true second. And then that girl that got second fucking dog walked that poor girl that Adley beat first. It was
Because
crazy.
you're already
Like,
defeated at that point. It's like,
yeah,
I just lost. I don't want I want to the day's done.
and they only give you like 15 minutes. So like Adley beat her, and then that girl came right up to the desk and said, I want to challenge for true second. And that girl was pissed. She was so mad. So she ended up winning. And so that didn't matter, because the girl that Adley beat in the finals ended up winning her challenge match. But it was just
Was it
funny that I was complaining, saying, well, this is bullshit. That girl's going to end up third no matter what. She's definitely that should be in the finals.
but
And
it makes
then
you're a parent, you're thinking ahead, of
I
course.
was definitely thinking ahead. I was like, this is the finals match. This should be in the finals.
Is
But
Adley at the age where obviously you get excited about a win and, sad about a loss, but does she really care? Like, was she over it after a few minutes, or was she pumped?
no, she's pumped about the win for sure. She gets over losses pretty quick. But she was pumped. She's still pumped about it.
She should be.
She's sick though now. Like, so right
Well, you've
before the
got
first
a bunch of kids in one room
so
wrestling, of course.
Maisley was sick. Like, woke up sick the day of the tournament. And then but obviously they've been wrestling and hanging out, and so I was like, oh, thank God Adley's not sick. And then like 20 minutes before the match, her first match, she comes in. The building is hot as fuck. I'm
Yeah.
just sweating my ass off. Not doing anything, just standing there, I'm sweating. Adley comes over and says, I'm so cold. And I went, oh, fuck. So then I touch her, and she's on absolute fire, like burning up. So then Adley's got this wicked ass fever 20 minutes before a match. I was like, you got to be shitting me. Like, we come all the way here, spend a goddamn fortune, enter the
Right.
tournament, get the hotel, book the flights, bring the entire family, and then she gets a fever 20 minutes before her first match. So then we just hammer her with Tylenol, ibuprofen, or whatever. And it actually breaks right after her match. But you could tell, like, during it, she wasn't feeling great. And then she, like, kids get these fevers, and then they get, like, this burst of energy, So then she was just hype. But poor Maisley had a really tough tournament. She ended up getting third. Which is fine. I mean, she took a tough loss. I don't think she would have taken it had she felt good, but she was hacking along up the whole time. Neither one of them are in school today. They're sick as shit. They got Michaela sick, so Michaela's down sick too. Like,
But honestly, like, you win the tournament and you don't have to go to school.
yeah, you win the tournament and you don't got to go to school.
Pretty lit.
Yeah, and like they both left with medals from a preseason national tournament. Sick as fuck. That's crazy.
And they get to stay home.
And they're home.
What better feeling as a kid?
Yeah, now they get 2 days home from school, which is awesome. But anyways, I'm just so fucking proud of all my kids. Like,
You should be.
Araya's in the middle of this really intense tryout for this really, really good team. And I went and sat and watched her whole tryout yesterday. So they do 4 She's already made the team, but then they do like 4 practices to like assign teams, like what team you'll be on. And of course she wants to be on the top team. And so I went and watched her yesterday and like just so fucking proud. Like just watching her hoop.
That kid is just like a pure athlete though.
Yeah, just watching her hoop. Like she's just in her element. She gets a bit socially awkward sometimes. Like she's not this social butterfly. Like she'd rather be in her bedroom by herself. Nobody fucking with her. Like she does very well by herself. So she doesn't like big groups, but like when she's on the court, like playing basketball or volleyball, like she just thrives. She's just exactly where she wants to be. And Avea is, I don't know, she's something special. She's different. I've never seen anybody try harder than her. She's really good, but she
works at it.
I mean, she gives absolute 150%, no matter. Araya gets a little lazy at times, and because she's so good, she can get away with it. And Avea it's 150 fucking percent every time. It's fun to watch. But yeah, I don't know, in a really good place today with my kids. Like it was really fun to watch Adley just
crush it.
Just crush it. Absolutely show out. And then we'll get back Wednesday. I'll get back Wednesday, and then Araya's got her last tryout, so I'll go sit and watch that and make sure she tries hard. That's really why I sit there.
You're there for motivation.
Yeah, I'm just holding it.
It also makes a difference. I always said this too as a kid.
And I'm the only dad that sits there. Like all their parents just drop them off and leave. I'm like, well, I'm gonna fucking sit here and watch.
No, it makes a difference when you have your parents in the crowd. Like there was no better feeling growing up than looking at a sporting event you're playing in and seeing your parents there.
For sure. Totally agree. But we are always there. But now I need to get the fuck out of here. I got a lot of prep work to do. I got a show I got to do tomorrow. So as always, thank you guys for the support. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. It's really easy for you guys. Makes a big difference to me. Hopefully everyone enjoys yourself. I guess this will not be out before I'm on the Contender Series. So hopefully. No,
technically it will.
Will it?
Like
okay.
6 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. Well, hopefully you guys get on this and then jump on the Contender Series and I don't know, watch it. Show me some love. And I'll see you guys next week. We partner with HomaFight Picks to get you the most accurate and well-researched fight predictions. They do all the legwork so you can focus on winning. Picks will be sent directly to your phone via text or email. It's totally up to you. The second we upload them. Use code Lionheart to get 7 free days at winnable.com/HOF picks. That's WINIBLE.com/HOF picks.
With Anthony Smith.